David Anderson has become synonymous with global black wealth. Whether he's shaping policies at the World Economic Forum, playing key roles within political circles on both sides, mastering the art of building unshakable wealth on an international scale, or breaking down barriers so that black men around the world can win. David is the world's best kept financial secret weapon. From the ghettos of Southside Chicago to the Obama White House, to the homes of billionaire moguls, David's receipts stretch well beyond million-dollar bank accounts, African royal families, or celebrity inner circles.
But I believe that they did something that all of us can do.
David's true gift is in single-handedly positioning everyday brothers to become global millionaires. Why? Because it's about damn time we own what's ours and have a real seat at the table. Money, power, respect.
I'm back. Go tell somebody I'm back, y'all. Tell them I'm back. Man, I'm happy to be back. Ready in the set. If you guys who are here can hear me, I know that people are coming in. We're sending out the email and texts are coming out. Today is a very special session. I was talking to the team about what we should talk about today. And what was funny was it was a consensus that this type of topic is something you don't really find a lot on the internet, or you find a lot, period. And so we felt that this topic about how to stay out of jail, would be something that people would tune into, want to hear, and things that put people in jail and what that looks like, right? What that looks like. Sometimes it's not what you know to do. Sometimes it's what you don't know that can end you up in places that you don't want to be. And so I want to talk about this tonight and move that on my back office team. We send out the second email and send out the text. Make sure we have the text ready, because tonight I know a lot of people are going to want to really listen to this and hear this tonight. We're going to get back on the regular schedule, everybody, just so you know. We're going to get back on the regular schedule, hitting you up on Mondays and Thursdays. We also will probably have a sort of a challenge coming up around some special things to do where we reinvigorate the entire audience. We have tens of thousands of people as part of our list and what we do. So real quickly, if say hello and let me know, because it's hit the video froze. All right, so video froze. All right. Let me know if I'm back. Back office team, let me know if I'm back. Am I back? Okay. All right, good. I'm back. All right, guys. Can you guys hear me? Everybody can hear me. Let me know. If we freeze again, we're going to change internet connections and everything. So let me know if the text went out. We're going to start teaching here and talk about how to stay out of jail, everybody. So real quick, say hello to everybody. If you're in the chat, please say hello. We want to get into can you see and hear me? Let me know if you can see and hear me. All right. Thank you guys for being patient. Those that are waiting around, this will be a good lesson. Thanks for waiting around. For those that are here, let me know if you can see and hear me. Okay, all right. They're saying the team saying I'm back on. All right. Okay, so I'm back on. Let's talk about this real quickly. So let me go through a story real quick as these texts are going out and everybody is emails are going out. Hey everybody. Hey, I think you're here. If you can hear me, please say hello. Sorry, we got a little storm going on, so some of the things are not working. If you can hear me in the chat, please say hello real quickly. Say hello. If you can hear me in the chat real quick, whether you're on Facebook, YouTube, say hello because there's a little bit of a storm happening. Okay. All right. Let me see you say hello. Okay. All right. So what we're going to do, because I don't want to keep fighting the storm back and forth, everybody, thank you for tuning in. For those that are here, thank you so much. Chris, Manier, Odell, thank you guys for being here. So what we're going to do is that I'm going to try to go, okay? I'm going to try to talk. If we get intercepted again, okay, what I'm going to do is, in my team, if you could send out another email, if you could, another quick email, just letting everyone know that we've started. If we get interrupted again, then we're going to just wait for this for tomorrow. But I think we have, I think we're live now. So Lester, Maniar, Chris, Odell, thank you guys so much for waiting patiently for this so we can kind of go through this. So here it is. I came of age during the financial crisis, right? Where you saw a lot of people making money. I myself had gotten into real estate as well. And I had made a ton of money. I had collected millions of dollars in real estate. I got people in my family that recall this happening when I made this money. It was crazy, right? The whole system was nuts. And so, Joe, thank you, Lester. Thank you, everybody, for saying hello. Thank you so much. So here I was. I had made money and I had lost a ton of money. But between 2008 and 2010, along with like a Bernie Madoff, I saw a lot of people go to jail. Now, mind you, I myself matriculated to Wall Street during that time to Goldman Sachs as I was watching this. And you had Occupy Wall Street. For those that remember this, Occupy Wall Street, you had all type of things happening because of the financial system. And you saw a lot of people going to jail, okay? A good friend of mine, I'll talk about that at the time, and I can say this publicly, a guy that a little bit older than me and stuff like that, who I watched actually get in trouble. I won't mention his name right now, but end up getting about 15 years in jail. And some things happen that I would say these things happen, and we don't talk about it a lot in business because everyone thinks, oh, I'm just going to be rich. I'm going to do this, going to do that, all these things. And we understand, I believe, a lot of what I call illicit crimes, right? Credit card fraud, stuff where people are doing illegal drugs or like those things are very understandable. But there are a lot of things in this thing called business by where you can put yourself in a position, brother, right, or sister listening, where you are putting yourself in criminal activity and you don't even know it, okay? Or you're not as aware that you're putting yourself at risk and into a criminal situation by where you are now going to have to deal with the feds and deal with the law and deal with those things. So what I wanted to do tonight, again, you don't find a lot of this online, but I wanted to prepare brothers and prepare people for this situation because you can do things that you don't know that are what I would call, it goes beyond the gray line. So let me draw this out for you real quickly so you have a good understanding of it, and that way you don't make these mistakes. I'm going to draw some things out for you. All right, so here it is. There is, okay, yeah, let's use this. All right. So there's essentially, like, I would call it a circle, right? Okay, a circle, right? There's a safe zone, okay? Safe zone. This is totally safe, right? And then you have this area that is what I would consider, I put these dots around here. This is like a gray zone, right? Meaning that there are things, it's not illegal. It may not be best practice, but it's not illegal, okay? All right, legal, right? And then you end up with things that I would say, I wish I had another color marker to make this point. You have things that are very much out of bounds, okay? Right? So you have safe zone, you have what I would consider gray zone, and then you have out of bounds, okay? Right? So out of bounds, you have the gray zone, and then you have the safe zone. Okay? All right? So safe, gray, and out of bounds. Everyone following with that? If you follow that, say yes and yes. Give me 100 in the chat. If you follow that, right? You have safe zone, you have a Did I cut off? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? All right, everybody, can you hear me? I'm back. Can you hear me? Let me know if you can hear me. I'm sorry about this. I want to get through this, but the signal I know is tough. Okay, they say they can hear me. Okay, all right. So if I go out, just stay tuned. I'm going to just come back. So this will happen, and then guys, we're going to cut this video. When it finishes, we'll cut out the parts that are not right per se. Okay. So we got out of bounds, we got the gray zone, we got a safe zone. Okay, here it is. Here it is, right? What happens to many entrepreneurs or business owners, this is what happens, right? And this can happen to all of us in any way, is that you operate in the safe, you do something gray, you get out of bounds, but then out of bounds become a practice. So what is the first out of bounds thing? Actually, there's a case right now going on about the biggest, what I call out of bounds move that someone ever made, okay? All right? So if you're familiar with the FTX, again, put that up there, FTX scandal, FTX. scandal, put a 1 in the chat. Let me see if you're familiar with the FTX scandal. Please put a 1 in the chat if you're familiar with that. Okay, FTX scandal. Put a 1 in the chat. I want to see who knows what and who's familiar with certain things. Okay, all right. So the FTX scandal is a guy, young guy. I think his parents were from Stanford. Something like, long story short, he got into the crypto market. He's in crypto. He's doing all this stuff, and basically, he's living in the Bahamas, living up his life, and he does something that is just really, really out of bounds, right? Really out of bounds. And what he does is this: the number one thing to keep yourself out of jail, right? I'm going to say what the do nots, thou shall not, or the do nots. Okay. Number one, do not co-mingle funds. Okay. Do not co-mingle funds. Do not co-mingle funds. Okay. What do I mean by that? As a business owner, as an entrepreneur, you have control over the money that is put in your account. You have total control, what I call total autonomy over the things that are in your account. Okay. That's you, right? Now, what happens is that we get sometimes sloppy or whatever the case is, and we start to commingle funds. What does that mean? What we start to do, we have different companies for different things, and we just say, okay, I'm going to use money from this company to pay payroll and this company, and then we're going to do this over here and do this over there, right? And what you're doing is that you're taking two separate entities' capital. If you mix them, now you're technically, right, committing fraud, right? If you mix them. Now, it's one thing to say, hey, if I take this company and they're going to invest capital or give this company a loan, that's okay, right? But you cannot commingle funds when you have separate companies and you're moving money back and forth between companies. Now, if it's you and your personal money, because you are the sole owner, if you are the sole owner, that's actually that's a gray zone, but that's okay. So if you go in your savings account and you put money into your company, right? You are an investor in your own company, that's okay. Or if you take company funds out of your company and now you put it in your savings account, all that's going to happen is that that's going to be considered taxable income, and you're going to get a tax bill for that once you get audited. But you cannot take two companies, right, and move money back and forth between two entities. So what happened with FTX was that, and again, I'm going to get into number two, right, the raising of capital. He took his hedge fund and his brokerage company, okay, right, his brokerage company, and he took money from the brokerage, especially other people's money, and then he put it in his hedge fund, okay? Now, the reason why this was such a big deal, because it takes me to number two, the do nots. Number two is do not commingle funds, but also do not play with other people's capital. That's a big do not. Do not play with other people's capital. Everyone always talks about, oh, I need other people's money. I need some OPM. Okay. I need OPM. I need other people's money. Well, I'm here to tell you guys, for those that don't know, once you take on other people's money and capital, right, you now have a fiduciary responsibility. So there are things that you may be able to do that may be safe or gray when it's your money, that is not okay when it's other people's money. I'll give you an example that happened. Actually, I got a report today. Let me tell you what happened today, literally today, okay? So I got a call from my brother. Long story short, a guy knew he raised money for this fund he had. They were investing in what you consider hydrogen, some like different companies, okay? For energy. Basically, it was energy company. He took this 30, 40 million, right? They had all this cash, and what did they decide to do? Well, the company wasn't taking off. They spent $2 or $3 million. The company wasn't moving the way they wanted it to move. So what they did was that they went and bought a $15 million property. Hold on, listen to this. Listen to this. They went and bought a $15 million property. Now, in essence, there's nothing wrong with taking people's money and buying a piece of property with it, as long as you have identified and translated and communicated that this is what I'm taking your money for. I'm taking your money to buy property and buy property like this. You cannot tell somebody you're putting money in, okay? You cannot tell somebody, give me your money. You're taking their money, okay, to invest in energy and then buy property. Now, you may say, wait, they still got a return. The property doubled in price. It does not matter, because the purpose of which you took the money, especially when you raise capital, we're going to go through this, right? You cannot play with other people's money. You cannot commingle funds. Listen to me. You will go to jail very, very quickly if you commingle funds, especially if you commingle funds with other people's money. Is anybody hearing this? I need to give me a 100 in the chat, okay? If you saw many people go to jail, now that you think back over the news articles, everything else, because guess what? They took other people's money and they commingled funds. These are two things you want to stay away from in your own business, but especially if you raise capital from other people. I got to tell you, if I ever choose to raise capital, whether in this community or another place or whatever the case is, right, there will be disclaimers, there will be prospectuses, everything. You will have to know exactly what the money is going towards or what is going to be at risk for, okay? These things will get you in jail. I have a buddy right now in jail. He's serving 7 to 9 years because guess what? He took other people's money. Wait, hold on. He's not even the one that took the money. His COO is the one that played with people's money. But because he was the CEO, he is now responsible because he is the fiduciary of the situation and the commingling of funds and playing with other people's money. Guys, if you're feeling this, man, give me 100 in the chat. Understand? Now you know, right, brother? Share this information with somebody else. Please share it with somebody, okay? Now you know what can get you in jail. And guys, this is not a game. I want you to know this is not a game. I gotta say that again. This is not a game, especially those two areas. The feds will be so up your behind if you do this, right? You will be in massive trouble. So that's number 8. Number three. This is another one that will get you in trouble that you have to be very, very careful, very, very careful of, right? Okay? Do not, okay, make consumer promises you cannot keep. Do not make consumer promises you cannot keep. There's a lawsuit going out right now. Right now, there's a lawsuit with Starbucks. I couldn't believe this, but I understood it when it happened. I couldn't believe it, though. You ready for this? Okay. Starbucks has something called the refresher. How many in here in the room, real quick, by putting up a 1 in the chat, right? Okay, right? Put up on a 1 in the chat. How many in here have had a refresher from Starbucks? Dragon fruit refresher, mango, whatever refresher, right? Just put a 1 in the chat if you've had a refresher from Starbucks, right? It's actually one of my favorite drinks. I like the refreshers from Starbucks, okay? Well, right now they're in a lawsuit and they're going to lose this lawsuit or they're going to settle. Let me tell you why. Because they essentially made a implied promise when they give you a refresher and they say the word dragon fruit or mango or whatever the case is. Have you ever noticed on a lot of things, it'll say orange flavored, it'll say strawberry flavored, right? It'll say not real fruit or stuff like that, because it is implied that if I say that, hey, I'm giving you apple juice, that it actually is made from apples, or I have to say this is concentrate or this is whatever. Why? Because consumer promise, there is something called an implied Can you let me know if you can hear me? Freeze? I want to make sure I didn't freeze. Let me know if you can hear me, please. Let me know if you can hear me. Okay, hold on. I'll be back. Let everybody know I'll be back. Let everybody know I'll be back. Hey guys, I'm back. Sorry about that. Okay, I told you, look, hold tight because I'll come back, right? If it goes off, I'll just come right back. So we were talking about Starbucks, right? And we're talking about the consumer promises. So Starbucks, you can Google this right now. They're in a lawsuit because literally they are using the word mango and dragon fruit and things like that, which implies there's real fruit in the drink. And they're not saying, hey, this is artificial flavoring. Hey, this is this, whatever. When you are dealing with the consumer, which is different than business to business. Understand me. Business to business is different than business to consumer. Okay. You got to know the difference. Okay. Business to business. Make sure we put this in the chat if you want to see. Business to business has different rules than business to consumer. It's different laws for business to business to consumer. Business to business, there's a lot of things that slide, a lot of things that roll. A matter of fact, there was a case some time ago. It was a bank. They sent like I want to say it was a $90 million wire to the wrong company. Listen to this. Oh, listen to this. The company, the bank sent a wire. They got the number wrong. They sent the wire to the wrong company. Well, in sending it to the wrong company, they asked the company, hey, can we have our money back? And you know what the company said? No, you cannot. So they and guess what happened? All these things. Am I frozen again? Guys, did I freeze? Let me know. Did I freeze? Did I freeze? Or am I okay? Am I okay? Okay. All right. I'm back. All right. So what happened was that basically they could not get the money back. They went to court for like 2 years, and they could not get the money back because they could not get the money back because they had given it to a business. Now, if that was a consumer and you accidentally sent money to another consumer, there would be obviously other rules that applied or other situations. So business to business is different laws than business to consumer. If you are in the consumer business, you have to be very conscious of what you say and what you promise to a consumer. You got to have a lot of disclaimers. You got to have a lot of things. You got to say a lot of stuff. I say constantly on this thing, look, I am not giving you financial advice. I'm not telling you how to invest. I'm not telling you how to do this because business to consumer are different laws than business to business. So do not make consumer promises you cannot keep. You also will land in jail for this, okay? If you, on a continual basis, right, you make a consumer promise. This is why, for instance, people in the credit repair space, right? I saw this a lot in credit repair. They have to be very, very careful because they can't promise you that they can fix your credit. Because if they do that to too many people, they end up with a class action or coming after them. Now the attorney general comes after them, right? You have to be very careful that making promises you cannot keep. This is very key in business and will keep you out of jail, right? Whatever you do, make sure you can do it, make sure you can execute on it, and that you can actually do it properly. All right. Next one. Number 4, do not profit too much off of government programs. All right, this is a very important one, guys. Do not profit too much off. Somebody say it right, okay. Do not profit too much off of government programs. Please hear me when I say this. This one, I'm going to beg you, especially, I'm talking to the brothers here, for many who do government stuff or whatever the case is. Trust me when I tell you, okay, if there's a government program, okay, or the government offers something for free or offers whatever the case is, and I know, you're like, if people could do it, they would do it themselves. Yes, I agree 150%, right? But do not profit too much off of government programs. The government is no problem for you to offer. So I'll give you an example, right? You're helping somebody get Social Security benefits, right? The government has now created a thing to help people get that, and they cap you on what you can charge for certain things, right? You saw this a lot with PPP. You saw, oh my gosh, you saw this with people were charging all type of money to file a PPP and get a percentage and all of this stuff. You saw this with the ERC, right? Oh, I'll file your ERC, earn retention credit. This is that, blah, 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 blah. Right. Ho. See, they don't mind. Okay, you pushing the program, you making a few $1,000s here and there, but don't start making tens of thousands of dollars. Oh boy. Because now they're going to get you for, remember, it's a government program. It's a government thing. They're going to get you for price gouging. They're going to get you for consumer deceit. They're going to get you for fraud, conspiracy to defraud the government. I'm telling you, I have seen it. Look, I have seen it. I knew a guy in real estate. It was a government program that was helping veterans and someone else get housing. Okay. So he was just putting them in houses. Everything else. And he was making commission. The man had made like $1 million or $2 million in commission. Okay. When the government saw that, they did not like that. And so they gave him a hard time, right? He ended up going to jail for 2 years, and they hit him for conspiracy to defraud the government. Listen to me. This is about, hey, my back office team, put that slide up real quick, right? How to stay out of jail. Put that slide up, make me small. Put that slide up, right? This is about how to stay out of jail in business based on what I've seen and what I've experienced, so I can give you some insight on how to stay out of jail. Nothing wrong with making a little bit of money, like even taxes. The truth of the matter is that the government don't even like your tax preparers to making you like crazy money, right? So I'm telling you guys, do not make too much money off of a government program. Matter of fact, I advise people, a lot of stuff with government, I even want to stay out of, because government will hit you. They will make up stuff and hit you and go around. If you don't believe me, y'all, I want you to look at what, former President Trump is going through in his asset case, right? Literally. Now, I know, I'm not saying he was the best businessman. I don't know him personally, but I do know he had a reputation of not being very, him being very unscrupulous in business, not paying people, all that kind of stuff. I know that's his space. But literally, they went back and they said, hey, you went to a bank. The bank are governed by governments, okay? You overvalued your assets, and therefore we're hitting you with fraud. Hold on. Who's to say what something is worth? Something is worth, you put me back on the big screen if you can, guys. Something is worth, literally, it's worth what the buyer believes it's worth, okay? All right, put me back at full screen if you can, guys. It's worth what the buyer believes it's worth. But because banks were involved and government programs were involved, or that they were renting to the government Section 8 tenants, All right? Don't okay, much off government program. Can everyone hear me? Can you see me and hear me? Hold on. I'm coming back. Hey guys, I'm back. Okay, so I'll come right back. Thank you so much for being patient with us. It's just the storm is going on, so it's going in and out, right? It's going in and out. All right. So again, like I was saying, just be careful about government programs so you don't profit too much off of government programs. Man, that will get you in trouble. And you're not doing anything wrong. I'll give you a quick story and then I'll go to the next one. My first business was a student loan company, and I was helping people get out of student loan debt. And one way we were doing this was back in the day, this is 10, 12 years ago. We were doing this by helping people take advantage of a lot of the programs now that people get automatic. You had to go through this whole process. The problem was that the loan servicers got paid off of you not being in the government program, not on the government program. So the loan servicer did not want you to get these government programs to help you with your student loans. So we created a company to help people do this. And I remember we had to limit our fees. We had to I had to get out of the space because literally I was limited in the profit that I could make in that business. I was saving people 50,000, 100,000. If I save you 100,000, what is that worth to you? Right? You would pay 5,000, 10,000, no problem, no sweat. I couldn't charge you more than $2,000. And that's because there was a government program tied to it. I went to the Attorney General to help them, to assist them. And then they made me the object of an investigation. Wait, I went to them to say, hey guys, there's a lot of unscrupulous stuff happening with these loan servicers. This is what's going on. What are you doing about it? Okay, we're helping people get this, saving money, whatever. What are you charging? I said, we're charging this, charging that. They said, oh, that sounds fishy. I said, it sounds fishy. No, this is free. You should be helping them for free. I said, how am I going to make money and I got to help them for free? Right? But they don't understand that. Guys, listen to me. They don't understand that. They don't understand that. Okay? So do not make too much off of government programs. Stay in the safe zone. Don't get into gray. Don't get out of bounds. Okay? The fifth and final one that we're going to talk about tonight. And there's more than this, but I think this is a good one. Do not commingle funds. Do not play with other people's money. Right? Do not make consumer promises you cannot keep, and do not profit too much off of government programs, right? These are safe. This is how you stay out of jail. Stay out of jail, okay? The last one we're going to talk about is this. Do not, okay, right? Do not raise capital. You cannot use or deploy under, this is important, under securities law. This is very important, guys. And this is because some of you guys are at this level or you're going to this point. I see a lot of people who are very excited about venture capital, the whole movement, everything else, blah, 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 blah. Okay? I need you to understand that when you raise capital, right, other people's money, right, you cannot use or deploy this, okay? Do not raise capital you cannot use underneath securities law. Now, I don't want to go into all the details about this, but I'll give you an example that really brings this home, okay? What happens is this, right? If you give me money and I make you an equity shareholder or equity in the business, you're a fellow co-partner and operator in the business, then it's game on. Guess what? Because I made you a co-owner or whatever the case is, you can go into my bank account, take all the money, and now I got to deal with you in civil court. Okay? if I make you a partner, all these things are different, right? But once I take on capital, okay, take on capital, and I cannot use or deploy under securities law, I am now creating a Ponzi scheme or I'm creating fraud. Okay. I'll give you an example, right? The buddy I know put up $1 million. The guy said, hey, we're going to give you $15,000 a month. If you give us $1 million, we'll make sure you get $15,000 a month, right? And they didn't really tell him all the investment stuff and everything that was going on. But all he knows that he was getting a check. He was getting he put up $1 million. He was getting like $150,000 a year. That's all he cared about, right? Now, once you start deploying capital and giving people dividends, giving distributions, all these type of things off of their capital, you now have created what I call a financial product. And once you are under a financial product, you are under now securities and SEC law. Listen to me when I tell you this, guys, so you don't make this mistake. Share this video with somebody. It'll help them. Once you start deploying capital back to people, distributions, all these things, and it's not from a clear operating business, you have now created a financial product. Once you create a financial product, it is now under securities, SEC, and financial law. When you break these things, you will go to jail. You will go to jail. I want you to know, a lot of us, we've done stuff, we didn't know we were doing it. But hopefully, I'm giving you a baseline, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of things, okay? So if you get money from a friend, let's say, oh, hold on, you want to borrow money from a friend, right? Hold on. You say, man, yo, I need 20 grand and I'll give you back $1,000 a month, right? Until I pay you off. You better have a loan. You better have a loan document. You better have something. You better have something, because if you don't pay them back that $1,000 a month plus whatever you agreed to, and they get mad and they go to the law, you have just committed securities fraud, especially if you used it to raise capital for something for yourself. Guys, you have to be very, very careful with this, okay? When it comes to raising capital, and you cannot use or deploy it under securities law. Be very, very careful with this. Can you get a loan? Yes. Make sure you have a promissory note. Make sure you have terms. Make sure you have all of that together, because guess what? Even a loan is considered a financial product. Please, friends, brothers, hear me out. I'm doing this as a thing. I want to help save us from going to jail, okay? Be very careful when you deal with financial products, because it is under securities law. So don't raise capital. Don't ask for capital if you don't know how to deploy it under securities law. Guys, this has been David Anderson with 1 Million Black Men. I love this. Look, I'm here to help free you psychologically. 1, financial freedom, buy what you want. Hey, we're going to have economic freedom when we own the things that people buy. And number 3, and finally, is wealth creation for 7 generations. Look, I am not just doing this for me. I am not just doing this for you. I am doing this for your children and your children's children, so that they can be successful as people on this earth, people of color, African, Black people on this earth. I'm so excited. Look, I'm back, guys. I'll see you Monday. We'll get back into the gang of things. Hey, team, and we'll get ready to play the video about 1 Million Black Men. I'm so excited. I want to also put out another shout. Guys, the guy who did our video of 1 Million Black Men, our spoken word poetry, is up for Grammy consideration. Mr. Crazy. You'll see his name in the video. Please go. If you know somebody, support, like, share, all that good stuff. But hopefully this was helpful to you guys about how to stay out of jail in business and the 5 things you do not want to do. Again, do not commingle funds. Do not play with other people's money. Do not make consumer promises you cannot keep, which is an implied contract. Do not profit too much from government programs. And also, do not raise capital you cannot use or deploy under securities law, because now you have a financial product and now you can be in big trouble, even if you didn't mean to do it. Hey, sorry, the law doesn't care if you didn't mean to or you accidentally did it. The fact that it's done. Look, everybody, love you. See you later. Like I always say, I'll see you at the top, because the bottom It's just way too crowded. Peace.
Calling all black men. This is a call to action. This is a call to action, an action call. Calling all black men. This is a call to action. This is a call to action, an action call. For 1 million black men. I am Kwesi to put you on a call path to win. This is not a Zoom call or a call on Facebook Live. Though we are virtual, we are live. Not a call on TikTok like MLB black men, we are on the clock. Not a call from Snapchat. Move back my bat. We are on first base to Isaac Hayes Jr. fan base. We have an eye line on third base. Grand Slam, not a call from Instagram, as we don't need validation with blue checks. We are the true checks. We do checks. We write checks. We are the right checks. We do family checks. We check in on our sons and our daughters. We are black men who walks on waters because our children like to FaceTime. We are black men who FaceTime. Let's FaceTime. This is still not a call from an Android or an iPhone. It is extraterrestrial to phone home. I know sometimes black men, we have to travel around the world to be appreciated at home. But you are not alone. You are in the each one, teach one green zone, where the elusive weapon is the truth. We are the black truth. We are Paul Pierce, the truth. We are the loot. We are 1 million black men strong. We will get along as we landline. We walk across their blue and red line. Now this call is from a landline with rotary numbers and a coiled cord. We are 1 million black men on one accord. This cord and phone transmits a dial tone, whether a local call or a call of long distance. Regardless of the distance, it connected us. Social media unconnected us. Our homes need us. They soul feed us. And not just food that give us niggas-itis. I write this, our homes bleed, sweat, tears for us. Black men, it is up to us. It is on us, not to just procure the bag. Buddha bless one, share it with me. Get the info under your afro, bro. And establishing sovereignty to be a one united bank for economic just us. Black men, we must set up a family trust to an estate, because right now everything is at stake. Because we can't lead from behind, from your behind to your mind. They are public with their relevance as they use artificial intelligence. In this age of information, Elon Musk bought Twitter to gather more of our information. So if I have to be the Starlink, I will break the Starlink for 1 million black men. But I won't condone our culture with misuse of our information. So I grant you David Anderson for this financial literacy education. DA went from shy Southside streets to JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs on Wall Street. From Chicago State to Harvard. At 19, he fathered the economics in his family house. DA served in President Obama administration at the White House. He lived in China for 3.5 years, learning the Chinese economy, the renminbi. To the British pound, black men, let's get this pound. To the European euro, we NBA step into the euro. To the Uganda chilling. Black men, let's be empowered by our billing and be willing to learn and understand. Money is just a tool to build unshakable wealth. 7 generations deep that DA will teach that we can compete in an economy beyond that's local. Black men, we must think global. So I present to you David Anderson to put you on this financial literacy path to win. Welcome to the movement. 1 million black men.